Leaders must lead. A nose to the grindstone leads to a lack of situational awareness. That is the quote that was submitted by the one and only Stephen Kuhn. That's right. Stephen Kuhn submitted a quote for the Morning 5 Planner. I read it this morning. That's what I do. Wake up 2:30 in the morning, right? Wake up 2:30 in the morning. That is weird. I got to hold on. I got to fix that. Wake up 2:30 in the morning and read the quote that's at the top of the Morning 5 Planner. And the quote said this, and I love this quote. Leaders must lead. A nose to the grindstone leads to a lack of situational awareness. I read that and I thought, yeah, man. Like you have to constantly be looking up. When you run a business or any opportunity to lead, right? It's constantly looking up. And then you got to look around. And then you got to look behind you. And then you got to look to the side. Like you got to be cognizant and aware of everything that's going on, right? It makes me think about the 8 pillars. There's 8 pillars with the help of some discovery from mentors and amazing people like Liza Myers-Borges and others. I've been able to discover as I get a little bit older, there's basically 8 pillars, right? 8 pillars of life, 800%, right? And in each of these pillars, you got to like constantly be looking around, constantly be aware of what's going on. What's going on with your faith? What's feeding into that? What's taking away from that? What's going on when it comes to your family? What's feeding into that? What could potentially be taking away from that? What about with your fitness? What's feeding into that? And what could possibly be taking away from that? What about with your finances? What's feeding into that? And what could possibly be taking away from that? Then you got to look at your friend circles. Who are feeding into you and who are you feeding into? Then you got to look at your career. What's feeding into that and what could be taking away from that? And then, of course, there's your mental health, yourself, how you feel about yourself. What's feeding into your mental health and what could possibly be taking away from that? Ding, 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 ding. Lots of scrolling, by the way. Education. What's feeding into that? And what's taking away from that? See, playing this game called life, it's about trying to keep them all from like going out of whack. And it's a challenge. Sometimes one area will go out of whack. Other times multiple areas will go out of whack. Sometimes one area going out of whack can affect all the other areas and knock them out of whack, and vice versa. But it's situational awareness. Leaders must lead. A nose to the grindstone leads to a lack of situational awareness. We got to look up. We got to look around. We got to make sure that we're aware of all these different areas of our lives. And it's a challenge, but it's definitely worth it. Good morning and welcome to Rise and Grind Live. Unlock your full potential with the power of daily motivation, education, inspiration with your host, Lundy, a husband to 1, father to 8, global motivational speaker, and the author of The Morning 5.
I'm Heather Parady, former therapist turned online entrepreneur and wannabe comedian.
Celebrity interviews, transformational information, and a massive community around the number one morning show in the world. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Tuesday. That's right. Today is Taco Tuesday. How about that? Today is Taco Tuesday. I love Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we go over to my mom's house. My stepdad makes some delicious tacos. We bring all the kiddos. My wife and I watch things like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, the old people shows. And my wife or my mom chases the kids around. It's always amazing. It's a little break in our week, and it's something that I always look forward to. So today is Taco Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. Taco Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. And I need everybody to do me a favor right out the gate over on YouTube. Drop some hearts, drop some hearts, drop some hearts, drop some hearts. Since it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, that will help push the feed out into the universe. We can make a massive impact in other people's lives. And over on Facebook, I need you to tag your friends, hit the share button, and hit the likes. All right. Likes, shares, tag a friend. Let's get some folks in here. Let's help people change the way they start their day. All right. So today is Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Tuesday, February 13th, 2024. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, incredible, incredible day. Now, don't forget, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Guys, girls, those who have loved ones, parents, those kids, whatever it is. What's up, Justin? Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. All right. So I just want to give you some situational awareness. Make sure you got your Valentine's Day gifts. Now, I will tell you that no matter what you get for whatever loved one that you have in your life, I got the best gift for my wife tomorrow. So you're not going to be able to outdo what I did. And that's okay, though. It's not a competition. It's really not a competition. And I do apologize in advance when your spouse or your loved one sees what I did for my wife and you didn't quite do that for your wife. So I'm just giving you some heads up right now, right? Just giving you some heads up that you might want to bring your A game because, well, my wife's not on social anymore, so she won't post about it, but I might post about it. I'm just saying it might happen. All right. So bring your A game tomorrow. Love on your spouse. You should love on your spouse every day, or love on your parents, or love on your kids. You should do that all the time. But tomorrow's an extra special day where you get to just kind of come over the top, right? Now, speaking of loved ones, what if, I'm going to propose a question to you this morning. What if your loved ones could live longer? What if they could live longer and be healthy and be happy? Would that be something you'd be down with, or do you not want your loved ones to live longer? Right? Drop it in the comments. My guess is you want your loved ones to live longer. So what if your loved ones could live longer, and what if you could live longer as well? Happy and healthy, happy, healthy living, not just living and, broken bones and joints hurting, but happy, healthy living. That'd be great, right? I mean, for years and years and years, people sought the fountain of youth, right? This was a big thing. Well, here's what's cool about being alive in 2024. There's actually research now that has been done that indicates there are 5 areas on this planet where people are living to 100 years old consistently. 1 out of every 3 live past 90 years old, and they're happy and healthy and active. Right, so they found these 5 areas on the planet. They're called blue zones, and it's pretty interesting stuff. Check this out.
Blue zones are areas around the world where a high percentage of individuals live to be 100 years old. Today on Million Ways to Live, we visit Loma Linda, California, the only blue zone in North America, where Seventh-day Adventists show the world that healthy living is possible in today's modern world. Meet Dr. Ellsworth Warren, a 100-year-old Seventh-day Adventist who retired as a heart surgeon at 95. He's been featured in National Geographic, on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and been interviewed by people from all over the world. We spent the day with Dr. Warren and his wife to learn his secrets to his longevity. According to Dr. Gary Frazier's famous 34,000-person study, the average Seventh-day Adventist vegetarian male outlives their average male counterpart by 9.5 years. Must be the veggies, right? Not according to Dr. Warren.
The reason why the California Adventists outlive the general population, I think, is based largely on a spiritual basis. You have to come to this conclusion when you see that Fraser took and divided us up, and 50% of the Adventists in California eat meat. But the difference between the ones that ate meat and the ones that didn't was only 1.53 years. You have to put it down to more than vegetarianism.
It's the whole lifestyle that counts when assessing Seventh-day Adventist health, but individual habits deserve attention as well. According to Fraser's study, the most important habits for adding years to your life are as simple as eating a handful of nuts every day and exercising. Dr. Warren talks about his daily exercise regimen.
Now, about 20 years ago, out of Stanford, there came a paper, and this paper said if you climbed a flight of stairs 20 times a week, now that's only 3 times a day. You get me? It's pretty hard to live in a 2-story house and not climb a flight of stairs 3 times a day. That you will reduce your incidence of dying of heart disease by 46%.
Despite living through 2 wars and a long career as a heart surgeon, Dr. Warren feels he didn't have a stressed life. And his wife of 64 years backs that up too. She says she's only ever seen him stressed 1 time. We feel it's his philosophy on life that must be the most critical component to his longevity.
I'll take care of the things I can do something about, and the things I can't do anything about, I'll leave alone. You do the best you can, and that's it. All your being stressed doesn't improve the situation one bit.
Ultimately, it's the attitude and perspective you take on life that matters the most. Dr. Warren's closing thoughts really sum up his positive outlook on life, and of course, the pride he takes for his gardening.
You can take control of your life and achieve what you want to achieve. You've got to look at things in proportion and see the glass being half full, not half empty. You see. You want to come out and look at my backyard?
Yes.
Dude's 100 years old. Crushing it at life. Retired as a heart surgeon at 95. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Look, this week we're going to explore these places. We're going to explore these blue zones that exist around the world. And more important than just exploring these places, we are going to explore these people. Like, what can we learn from the people behind these places? What can we discover? Or most importantly, what can we uncover about ourselves as we spend time discovering what it is that makes these people tick? It's going to be incredible. It's going to be an awesome series this week. I hope you'll join me every single day, Monday through Friday, 5:30 a.m., right here on #Rise and Grind. But before we go too far, you know what we got to do on this show. You know we got to do some dancing. An object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. All right, so yeah, we need a little more volume on that, but I'll fix that next time. All right, so for those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button if you haven't done so already. All right, I need you to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, and I will say what's up back. Is that fair? All right. I see quite a few of you over on Facebook. I see Lewis Grafton Nonis is here this morning. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. I see Cheryl Brody is in the building. Glad you're here, Cheryl. I see Gold, Gulled, Gulled, Gould. Anyways, good morning, Nathaniel Greklek. What's up, bro? Great to see you. Felicia Shakespeare's in the building. Rachel Krems is up in here as well. We've got Leisha Moore and Dora Maria. What's up, James Rideout? How you doing, Mary Lynn Wilkin? My hand hurts, but I can dance. That's all that matters. Kimberly Hatfield is in the building. Linnell Burns is up in here as well. Over on YouTube, I see Pastor Jeff Moffitt is in the building. Heather Parady's dabbing it out over there on YouTube. Glad you're here, Heather. What's up, Ryan Van Scoik? Ryan, you and I got to get on a call today. We got to get you rolling as far as the different things that you're doing in 800% Club. Ramon Ray, thanks for being here this morning. Trish Mickey, I'm so glad you're here. Ryan Gallagher in the building. Jeremy Nolling, what's up, Jeremy? I need to talk to you today, too. Jacqueline Underwood, how are you? Gianna, sorry. I don't know why I read it that way. Joanna Harvey, thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. Sol Salcido, I already said hi to you. I want to say hi again. Bella Rigby in the building. Ravi Retnakaran, I'm so glad you are here. Scott Marziani is in the building as well. Ryan Gallagher, thanks for being here. Tosh 2.0 in the building. What's up, Don Sankey? I'm glad you're here. I see Kaylin Carter's in the building. Wendy Reeves is up in here. Scott Simons, I believe I saw him in the building. Is Liza here as well? Liza Myers-Borges is usually with us. Catherine Guidi, thanks for being here. Rich Pintrick, thanks for being here as well. Hey, thank you all for choosing to be here with me this morning. Also, I want to give a shout out to those of you that have already picked up your copy of the Legacy titles. I'm starting to notice that they are shipping out. You guys helped me reach #1 Amazon bestseller. We also hit #1 on Barnes and Noble. All crazy in 48 hours with all kinds of hiccups along the way. But you guys have been supporting me and I greatly appreciate it. When you get your copies, if you get a chance, you read the book. I'd love feedback, right? So give me feedback, tag me in posts, let me know you got your copy, so on and so forth. If you haven't grabbed a copy yet, go to Barnes and Noble. You can get it there. You can get it on Amazon. It's a little easier on Barnes and Noble. And for those of you that love the Audible, check this out. The Audible will be coming out in just a few days, and it is an Audible experience, not just a regular narration of an audiobook, which is great. I love audiobooks, but we created an audio experience. Let me give you a little clip of what the audio experience is like.
Chapter 7. Chapter 7, The Unveiling. Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. Henry Ford.
Alfred went up to the meeting room, connected to his laptop, and searched YouTube for motivational, upbeat instrumental music in hopes of finding the perfect music for the morning. He was surprised to see thousands of hours of such music existed. He then scrolled through until he found a song that he thought matched the energy and tone for which he was hoping. He pressed play, turned up the volume, and like magic, the meeting room came to life. He then waited, and as the minutes ticked by, his team started to trickle in. One by one, they meandered into the meeting room as Alfred watched the surprised smiles on their faces. "What's this all about?" one of his salespeople asked. Meanwhile, another started dancing as she came in, and a third stepped in looking around curiously before he started handing out high fives. As more members of the team arrived, Alfred began to walk around the room giving people fist bumps and asking how each of them were doing. Some responded blandly, others with enthusiasm, but no matter how they reacted, they all seemed to appreciate the interaction. Alfred continued asking questions like, "How was your night? How are you feeling this morning? How have you been working out?"
So that is just
How's your
one
daughter
of
doing?
many
Are you
audio
investing?
cues that are throughout the book. We also, Heather Parady, Michael Cirillo, and I, we talk in between each chapter, going more in depth about those chapters before. Heather asks questions from her perspective. Michael asks questions from his perspective, and it creates an audible experience unlike anything you've ever experienced. So that'll be out in about a week. Keep your eyes and ears out for that. But I, again, appreciate all the support around the Legacy titles. It's been absolutely incredible. It really, really has. All right. On that note, let's keep going. All right, so check it out. There are 5 blue zones in the world. 5 blue zones in the world. The first is Greece. Ikiria, Greece would be the first. All right. Ikiria, Greece. The second is Okinawa, Japan. Okinawa, Japan. All right. The third is a place called Agliastra in Sardinia. Agliastra in Sardinia. Then you have Loma Linda, California. Loma Linda, California. And the last one is in Nicoya, Pensacola. Nicoya, Pensacola, Costa Rica is why they say it. Nicoya, Pensacola, Costa Rica is where the fifth blue zone is. Now, in these blue zones, it's very interesting. There's a lot of things that are different, but there are some things that are the same. Some of the things that are the same is that they eat primarily a plant-based diet. Primarily, there's still lots of fish, and they usually eat meat 5 to 7 times a month. Like, it's not full-on plant-based, but heavy on the plant-based side when it comes to their diet. What's also interesting is they eat slow, and they stop eating when they're about 80% full. I want you to think about that for a second versus us over here in America. Who are like, right? And then just stuffed. Oh, I'm stuffed. No, they eat slow. They eat slow and stop when they're about 80% full. What's also very interesting is they typically have 1 or 2 glasses of alcohol with every meal. 1 or 2 glasses of alcohol with every meal, usually like a red wine. Also, daily exercise is just a part of the culture, right? And when I say daily exercise being a part of the culture, I don't mean like they go to the gym and lift a bunch of weights. That's not what I mean. It's just a part of their daily lifestyle, out gardening or going out fishing, pulling in the nets like we saw in those videos earlier. Like, they're active all the time outside, and they're exercising like crazy. Also, what they found is that in these 5 different blue zones, they're very well rested. They get on average about 7 hours of sleep per night, but it's very common to take a nap in the middle of the day. Like, they just if their body's tired, they just allow it to sleep. Now, what was interesting is those naps are never more than 30 minutes. What they found is that your calories, something happens in your body after 30 minutes of a siesta. So they'll take 30-minute siestas throughout the day, 30-minute naps. That's just part of the culture out there, and they're very, very, very well rested. As I'm reading all these things, I think about Americans versus some of these other areas, and it's interesting, even though one of these areas is in America. All right, now, what they found that's even deeper, though, is that all 5 of these environments are super spiritual, and their lives are very purposeful. They also found that multiple generations live together. The grandkids, mom and dad, the grandparents, great-grandparents, like they stay together typically as a family unit, and they have very healthy, it's just healthy expectations from one another. They expect each other to live a healthy lifestyle, and they encourage each other to do so, right? Which is very, very cool. So it's really, really cool stuff as you dig into this stuff. It's really, really neat. But what can we really uncover is the deeper question. What can we uncover about their lifestyle and also about ours, right? Because we all know there's nothing I just told you that's extraordinary. We all know that we should have a good diet. And we all know that we should exercise. And we all know that we should get good sleep. And we all know that we should be around friends that lift us up and that we lift up. We all know that. So what's like a layer deeper? What's deeper about these people? What agreements, for those of you that have followed me with we talked about 4 agreements recently. What agreements do they have that might differ than agreements we have that allow them to collectively as a whole live in such a powerful way?
So when you were a kid, what was it like over here?
It used to be open over here. And then it used to be a small island over here.
Ikaria is a remote island in the Aegean Sea. When Leftiris Plakas was born here, there was no electricity or running water.
So these are...
This is the nest we put down, you know. We go out every other day or every 3 days.
Plakas spent decades in the United States, where he raised a family and built a successful career in construction. But now, 76 and retired, he's moved back home to embrace what has become known as the Icarian way of life.
Vale, Sul is ready.
On most days, Plakas joins his best friend Sulis, who at 86 years young, still captains this small fishing boat.
Wow. It's a lot of manual labor getting the nets ready and doing the boat. Isn't it tiring? No?
No.
How many years does he think he can keep doing this for?
Αυτό ξέρει μόνο.
Τι σ' αρέσει το πιο πολύ εδώ?
Το καζάκι,
Όχι εδώ, στο καίκι, στο καίκι.
This laid-back lifestyle is not uncommon on Ikaria. The island is considered to be a blue zone, a classification given to only 5 small regions around the world, where life expectancy is the highest. 1 in 3 Icarians live past 90. Compare that to a place like the US, where it's just 1 in 20.
It's a beautiful fish. Scaros.
Who is going to prepare the fish right now?
My niece, Maria, she's the best.
Is she?
She's the best cook.
Is
the
it
best
true?
one. She's the best one.
The long lives of people living in blue zones come from multiple factors: good weather, physical activity, a strong sense of community. But traveling around Ikaria, it's clear that one thing features prominently: eating really good food.
How important do you think that kind of fresh food, that clean food, is to allowing people to live the kind of long life that they enjoy here on Ikaria?
Πάρα πολύ. Το 100% πραγματικό είναι το φαγητό. Γιατί με αυτό ζεις. Τρέφεσαι σωστά, λειτουργούν όλα σωστά.
The Icarian diet starts with lots of vegetables and seafood, all sourced locally. Copious amounts of olive oil is used to cook everything. And every meal comes with at least a couple glasses of local wine.
Yeah. Yeah.
How does it feel for you to be eating fish that you just went out in the sea and caught a little bit earlier?
It's a nice feeling. You eat your own fish. It's a nice feeling.
Which one's your favorite here?
This is my favorite. This one. Octopus is nice too. Good.
Octopus is great.
Yeah. Everything is from Ikaria. The wine, the fish, the oil, everything.
This is how you eat every day on Ikaria.
More.
Το κρασί βγάλε το φωτογραφία, δεν πειράζει. Κρασί βγάλε. Άλλο τίποτα. Το κρασί αυτό είναι το καλό.
Although life on Ikaria is likely to be long, it's not guaranteed to be easy. What Icarians consume, Icarians produce. One of the reasons that people are so self-reliant here in Ikaria is because of this, because of the conditions of the roads. So people tend to stay within their villages, within their communities, and there they produce their own food, their own wine. Thodoris Kargas gave up his well-paid job in Athens 11 years ago to live a simpler, more natural life on Ikaria. You were a computer programmer. How did you leave all of that and come here to Ikaria?
I hadn't verbalized it or thought of it consciously. Something was wrong with my life there. So I had to change it. Working, making really good money in companies with 10-hour shifts and trying to escape only for a weekend to nature to enjoy things, it made no sense anymore to me. And I said I will come here to try to see how life can be differently. So I came, I tried it. It was just an experiment in the beginning. Farming and seeing the herbs and what I could do with these things attracted me so much that then it was just, in 1 year or 2, living my old life was already a dream. It was, I couldn't go back anymore.
Thodoris and his wife Tara produce essential oils from local herbs that they sell to people around the world looking to get in on Icaria's natural secrets. The couple lives in this modest home, raise their daughter, and live off the garden.
Can we... the wine, yes.
One of the theories about why people live so long on this island is because they have these home gardens, and of course they're eating their own produce on a daily basis, but they're also working in the gardens every day, which is kind of a form of exercise.
Yeah, now to me it just seems like such a natural, basic thing to do. With the space and with the weather we have and the rain we have, why wouldn't you have a garden?
You're someone who knows, I guess, both worlds.
Yeah.
You were living in the UK. What's different about growing your own produce? And how does it taste?
Cannot compare. It's just such a fundamental thing of everyday life to eat, isn't it? I mean, to take your produce from the garden and to cook it, you just cannot compare.
Yamas.
So I look at all this, and one, I get really hungry. I don't know about you. But one, I get really hungry. I don't even like fish or anything like that, but I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to get something to eat. Like, this is making me really, really hungry. But when I look at it, I can clearly see that there's something else happening there that is far beyond the food. I can clearly see in the story of the computer programmer who, when he said there's just something's not right. He said, I'm working my 10 hours days and I'm making a lot of money and I'm very successful, but something is just not right. See, when you read behind the lines and the beautiful images, and you start to connect the dots of how the man talked about how good it feels to catch his own fish and eat it. How the wife in that segment talked about something powerful behind growing their own produce and putting it on the table. Immediately, I think about the contrast. Yes, we're still live, Ryan. Oh, what happened? I wonder what happened. I wonder why we lost the stream over on YouTube. That's weird. Stream suspended for policy violations. Oh, I guess we got kicked off of YouTube for showing that video. But I think about the stark contrast. The DoorDash, the fast food lines, the grocery stores even, the convenience. And quickly I see a correlation between convenience and shortened lifespan. These people in these areas, they work diligently at a deliberately slow pace, being in the present and connecting the dots of their needs, their desires, and their wants. YouTube just put me back on. That's cool. And that's what I want to do this week. So let's explore these areas. And let's not immediately jump to the conclusion that we have to eat a certain way, walk a certain way, or talk a certain way. But instead, let's really take a look in the mirror. Let's look at the life we've created and ask ourselves that question. Is the life that we created serving our faith? Is it serving our family? Is it serving our fitness? Is it serving our finances? Is it serving our friends and our relationships? Is it serving our career? Is it serving our mental health and how we feel about ourselves? I'm excited to explore that with you this week. I hope you'll come back. Tomorrow morning, we'll do this all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an amazing, incredible, phenomenal, over-the-top day. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again. Peace.
far away. I saw you not so long ago. Was it just yesterday? Got that old feeling that I know. In the dark of the night, I'll be alright. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. A sea of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisperer, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will